Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharon Sputz from the Data Science Institute, and I want to welcome everyone to the Columbia-IBM Center for Blockchain and Data Transparency Anniversary and Inaugural Showcase event. I am so proud of everything we have accomplished and can't wait to share this with you. So just a quick review of our agenda. We're going to have an overview of the center. We're going to share our accomplishments. We're going to show you a video of all of the activities going on at the center, tell you how to get involved in our upcoming events, and then we'll have closing remarks and a toast to the center. And so I'd like to introduce you to Shih-Fu Chang to provide you an overview of the center. Richard Dicker, Professor and Senior Executive Vice Dean of Columbia Engineering.
Hey, thank you, Sharon. My name is Shih-Fu Chang. It's my pleasure to have the chance to join my colleagues at Columbia and partners from IBM to celebrate the second anniversary of the Columbia-IBM Center for Blockchain and Data Transparency. This center continues the very long tradition of collaboration between Columbia University and IBM research. As you can see in the picture on the right here, the famous IBM Watson Scientific Computing Lab was founded at Columbia University on February 6, 1945, during the final months of the Second World War. It's actually located just outside the main gate of Columbia University on Broadway. If you walk outside the gate, you can see just in front of you on the street for 116th Street. When it was created, Watson Lab provided computing services to the Allies. Its goal was to advance the state of the art of scientific computing. It also provided access to and training on computing machines for Columbia researchers before Columbia had its own computers. The first computer courses were taught here on campus by scientists in the Watson Lab. And now, more than 7 decades later, Columbia University and IBM Research launched another exciting effort to create a center for blockchain and data transparency with a very compelling vision and mission to advance the state of the art in computing. Here we saw a very significant moment of formally launching the center by our former university provost, John Cosworth, and Dr. Arvind Krishna, at that time Senior Vice President and Research Director, and now CEO of IBM. Our mission of the center is to bring together cross-disciplinary teams to advance innovation in blockchain and data transparency, and many other related topics for the good of the society and the industries, and to drive new science and technology to develop thought leaders and influence policy. As we see in the diagram here, the goal of the center is to support deep and broad research, education, and innovation in a multidimensional, multifaceted framework. Comprehensive topics related to many critical aspects of data, such as trust, identity, valuation, ethics, privacy, quality, ownership, governance, are all investigated using the emerging blockchain and data transparency technologies. The center leveraged the broad and deep expertise from both IBM and Columbia to stimulate cross-disciplinary efforts and investigate issues ranging from policy, regulation, business models, services, and applications. At the practical level, cutting-edge technology, tools, and facilities enabled by blockchains are being developed and evaluated. The activity of the center are organized around 3 tracks, including research, education, and innovation acceleration. Besides support for cutting-edge research projects and workshops, the center supports development of new courses, curriculum, and outreach activities. In addition, it has 2 accelerator programs to foster innovation and mentor new entrepreneurs that take the transformative ideas and new technologies into the new world. And I'm extremely happy to see this is a true partnership between IBM and Columbia University. We are very lucky and privileged to have dedicated leaders from both institutions to help guide the center. On the steering committee, we have 6 leaders from IBM and 6 leaders from cross-disciplinary schools and institutes from Columbia, and they are listed here on the slide. And very importantly, a key team that makes things happen are the program directors, Deepra Yusuf from Columbia and Tanya McVitie from IBM. With this close partnership, we have been able to make a lot of progress over the last 2 years. Now, Alistair Rennie, General Manager of Blockchain at IBM, will share with us all the exciting accomplishments we have made so far. Alistair.
Thank you very much, and thanks for that terrific introduction to the work we've been doing together. It's been a real pleasure. As was mentioned a little bit earlier, the collaboration of the program has been set up around 3 paths: education, research, and then innovation and accelerating innovation. So I thought I'd take a minute just to share with you some of the outcomes we've had, and maybe just a couple of words about why I think they're so unique. So maybe let's start with education first, if we could. When we've come at this from a commercial perspective, it's really clear that there's sort of 2 big dynamics happening as we look at blockchain and the related issues around data. One is there is clearly not enough skill in the marketplace to handle what clients are trying to do on a global basis as they transform their industry around blockchain. And the second piece that has been, I think more of a surprise learning, but an important one is this is not a single type of skill or domain for people to be successful. It is this confluence of a multidisciplinary approach and background and exposure that is really helping people make progress with the technology in industry. So in that regard, I think there's been some phenomenal work. 5 courses created, more than 200 students participating, and we've backed those up with 18 internships that have involved deep work with IBM mentors. And we've done that, I think, at all the right levels, from undergrad through to PhD. And what's unique as you kind of look through some of the commentary here is, this is not just about engineering or just about another discipline. It's uniquely bringing together all of the aspects and skills that come together to really help do a transformation around shared data and shared trust. Now, that also shows up when we look at what's come out of the research program. And this has been really fascinating. Our model has been to look for research papers that are of interest to the Columbia community, and also where, from an IBM perspective, we feel we can add value or pair experts. And again, the theme here coming through will be significant output, more than 9 research projects, a number of really vigorous workshops, and tremendous papers being produced and shared with broader industry. As I've worked with this team and gotten to know some of the research, what I've been so impressed with is how it mirrors many of the kind of complex real-world issues that we're dealing with. At its core, blockchain is around cryptography and data sharing, but as we use it to transform supply chain or financial services, there are legal issues, there are societal issues, there are privacy issues, there are ethical issues, there are regulatory issues. And I think the collaboration with Columbia has really brought together in a very unique way a multidisciplinary perspective to look at these issues, to examine them deeply, and to share some really, I think, important outcome with industry. And on the next slide, you can see what some of those papers have been. And they cover everything from core data and engineering, right through to things around privacy and trust and ethical and societal impact. And I think as many people started to think about blockchain and the related data issues, the engineering issues came to the fore. The real issues we're seeing in terms of implementation and scaling and growth and impact are really coming out of understanding these multidisciplinary points of view and interactions and helping translate them. So we're really, really excited about this work in the research space. And then lastly was a set of work with some very innovative companies through an innovation accelerator, where 28 early stage companies were brought together with expertise from Columbia, from both the business and the engineering side, and mentors from IBM working in the business and technical side of the business. And we went through very deep engagement with them around the businesses they're putting together, the technology they're choosing, their ways of working with clients through a very deep 13-week program to help them essentially scale their business and get them exposed to different sets of talent. And the feedback, if you go to the next chart, from these companies was phenomenal. We got a lot of really interesting early stage companies participating. We learned certainly a lot from them, the kinds of issues that they are facing, and what it's taking them to scale their businesses. So it was certainly a two-way street. But much of the feedback from the participants was, again, coming back to this theme of, real world experience, very deep access to expertise, and being able to tap expertise from multiple disciplines as they deal with some of the more complex problems that blockchain brings up. So education, research, and accelerating innovation has been the foundation of this, and I think the results have been absolutely fantastic, and we're delighted to be a partner in this great effort. I think we're now going to share a video to maybe visualize some of the work the center has done.
And now I imagine you have one question on your minds after seeing and hearing all about our center is how to get involved and our upcoming events. And to give us an overview, Jeannette M, the Avanessians Director at the Data Science Institute and Professor of Computer Science, Columbia University.
Sharon, thank you for that introduction. I wanted to add on my own color on why I'm so excited about the fact that we're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the center. I still remember when it was a gleam in our eyes, from talking with IBM, talking with my colleagues at Columbia, that we could go big with IBM in a partnership on something of mutual interest. And the big top question in all of our minds was, what is the value of data? And how can we incentivize people to share data? Because by sharing data, we can build better models and do better predictions, do better decision making. And it was really the breadth of Columbia University that I believe attracted IBM to work with us, because we have not just a phenomenal engineering school, but also we have a law school, a business school, journalism, public policy, and so on. So how to get involved? Every year we call for research proposals to come to us, and then we do a selection of the top proposals to fund. And so the next call will be May 2021. We also, will be October 2020, sorry. We also do a call for courses. We just had a call for courses, and the next call will be for May 2021. There are many ways in which you can collaborate outside of just doing a research project or a course funded by the center. You can propose new workshop topics. You can come to our other events. And then, of course, there's the innovation accelerators, and you can apply more specifically to the programs that the accelerator runs. And the web link and the contact information are at the bottom of this slide. Now, today's event is really to kick off a series of events coming up this fall. There will be 4 sessions. Each session will actually showcase work done through the center in research, education, and the Innovation Accelerator. There will be Columbia people participating and IBM people participating. And just to give you a sense of what each session is about, the first one really looks at why would anyone want to participate in a blockchain application? What are the incentives for people to actually share data? And they look at this from a very fundamental point of view, using mechanism design principles and algorithmic design principles. The second session is more about implementing the technology underlying blockchain and data sharing. So that includes also looking at the trust issues. And this will include work on formally verifying certain blockchain technologies are actually correct. It also looks at cryptographic techniques that support blockchain technology. The third session really speaks to the breadth of Columbia, and it brings in people from the business school and the looking at ethical issues and issues of policy on the use of blockchain and data sharing techniques, and also looking at the economics of these technologies. And the last session looks specifically at supply chains and applications of using blockchain to support supply chain management, and also to look at some of the economic issues of supply chain management. So I encourage all of you to come and participate in one or more of these sessions. I am sure you will learn a lot, and I assure you that it's also a good opportunity, even though it will be virtual, to network across Columbia and IBM and with each other, sharing research, education, and innovation accelerator results. So please do come. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mary Boyce. She is the Dean of the Columbia Engineering School. She is also the Morris A. and Alma Shapiro Professor. And Mary, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Jeannette. So I'm Mary Boyce, Dean of Columbia Engineering, our Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. Our long history of collaboration with IBM is one that we are very proud of. As you saw in the video, we like to say this is a partnership with a legacy and a partnership with a great future. We're excited about the incredible successes of the past 2 years, and we're looking forward to many more years of next generation education, cutting edge research, and innovation where our innovations are translated to real world impact on society. This year, you will see new research projects and workshops coming about, new courses and stimulating programs for our students, and a whole new cohort of innovators who will participate in our accelerator. This whole program has created a framework for many new efforts between Columbia and IBM that we look forward to in the future. And together, we're advancing blockchain and data transparency for the good of humanity. You see the impact of all that we do on human lives and how important that is to have technology have this positive impact on everything around us in the world today. So now, it's my pleasure to invite you all to join us, to raise a glass and join us in this toast to our collaboration and a celebration. Cheers.
Cheers, and thank you everyone for joining. And we look forward to everybody participating in the next set of research events that we're going to launch, and we're very excited. Thank you, everyone.